Well, we're joined via Zoom by economist Dr. Lord Mensah to help us have an analysis on this particular development. Grateful to have you, Doc. From where you sit, was the maintenance of the policy rate expected?
Oh, yeah. And it's not surprising at all because if you look at the dynamics, clearly these decisions are made in anticipation of the last quarter of the year. And in the last quarter of the year, we have several, things that we expect will put pressure on inflation, will put pressure on exchange rate. Now, if you take election, clearly we know very well that if you're getting into the year, system becomes a bit inconvenient, and people will like their money in dollars.
Great.
And so there'll be demand on dollar. So we foresee that exchange rate will start going up. And then we also looking at getting to a season of Christmas, where
Exactly.
we expect that a lot of imports will happen, in the midst of elections. And so the pressure on exchange rate is going to go up as well. Now, we were anticipating that with the ease of COVID-19 and economic activities, we should have had a bit of reduction so that funds easily flow. But then the question is, the reduction, would it have impact or not? That's where we have problem in this country.
Great.
We've looked at this policy rate over the years and its impact on lending rate. And the sensitivity is almost zero, as I can put it. So effectively, it gives you the signal that the optimum way they can do what they can do for Ghanaians is to make sure that they maintain it. They cannot increase it either. What is happening.
But Doc, what does this mean? The 14.5%, maintenance. What does it mean to consumers, particularly enterprises that were hard hit by COVID-19?
Yeah, under normal circumstance, when we adopted the Ghana reference rate, for which the monetary policy rate plays a major role, we should expect that, when this policy rate is reduced, it will have that, direct impact. But hey, our, lending is basically on this market-oriented dynamics, which monetary policy rate forms part of it, and then treasury bills. We have to look at the other side of the block, how to price a loan. We're looking at the consumers, credit rating, and then we also have to look at the economy in general, the dynamics of the economy.
Great.
How, it is fair, so that those who are lending can easily and be comfortable to say that, hey, if someone borrows, they can easily pay back within the next few years. So therefore, we can lend to them at a lower rate or reduce that credit risk premium component of, lending. So even though it has been maintained, we expect that it would have fed into, this lending rate, but then we don't see that. So for consumers, it gives you the signal that there's no hope, going forward.
Finally, before I let you go, you rightly made a point regarding the lending rates. We do know that per the Bank of Ghana figures, it's dropped to about 21.3%, in July this year. Now, this translates into about 1.78% per month charge on loans. It is very encouraging looking at where we've come from 4 years ago, in which lending rates were hovering around 29% on the average. But help us translate this, into the pockets of Ghanaians who often feel the brunt of high interest rates at the various banks. Shortly.
Yeah, well, if interest rate comes down, the margin that it has come down, if it is significant, then you should be comfortable working or to borrow. Because you know very well that, whatever amount you are going to borrow, when you put it into use, you will definitely generate more than the cost of borrowing, so that you can pay back your loan and possibly benefit from the difference between what you generate and then the interest rate that you pay on problems. I don't think we have enough funds flowing around as expected.
Interesting analysis, Dr. Lord Mensah. We're grateful that you joined us. He's an economist sharing his thoughts on the maintenance of the monetary policy rate at 14.5%.